Sport North East.
Nick Barnes and Gary Bennett, MBE.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
Ray Nildo. Good afternoon from the Stadium of Light. It's dry now. It's been a bit of a dank, grey day. Crystal Palace visitors, more about them in just a moment. 4 changes for Sunderland this afternoon. Robin Ruff's in goal. Mukiele, Ballard, Alderete and Reynaldo all come back in. Hume, Xhaka, Siddiqui and Mundle, Lafay and Broby up front this afternoon for Sunderland. So Hume will, by the looks of things, play on the right side of midfield, Mundle on the left. The bench is Patterson, Sirkin, Neil, O'Nien, Mayenda, Adingra, Isidore, Rigg and Herr Trauder. Palace, right, well they've had a week, haven't they? Knocked out the FA Cup by Macclesfield last weekend, and then their manager yesterday says he's leaving in the summer, and Mark Gahey is joining Manchester City. Henderson in goal for them, Dean Henderson. Jefferson Lerma comes back into a 3-man defence alongside Maxence Lacroix, and in place of Mark Gahey, it's going to be Chris Richards, the American centre-back, who played against Sunderland at Sellers Park. Justin Devaney, Adam Wharton, Will Hughes, Tyrick Mitchell, Brennan Johnson, Jeremy Pino and Jean-Philippe Mateta up front. On the bench, incidentally, Remy Matthews, who, Benno, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Nicholas.
You were struggling to remember, but he did play 6 games here back in 2020-21.
Wow.
Before joining Crystal Palace in 2021. Well, he's named on the bench alongside Walter Benitez, the keeper that played at Macclesfield last week, the Argentinian keeper. So, Sunderland, Hume. It does look like he's going to play in midfield, because I think they are playing 4 at the back this afternoon. And Adingra's on the bench. So it's Hume's renaissance recently. He's been playing more, I think, in the midfield than he is as a right back.
Yeah, he can play in several positions, can't he? Trey Hume, you know, he can play as a left back. We've seen him obviously play at right back. He's played as a centre back. He's played in midfield. He's played in a 5. The thing is with Trey Hume, you know what you're going to get. He's very versatile. He's a 100%er, and it just gives you that little bit more, shall we say, cover, especially on that right-hand side, and maybe that's the reason why he's being played out there.
Named Northern Ireland's Senior Men's Player of the Year this week, Trey Hume. He's had a fantastic year. He's had a fantastic career since he arrived at Sunderland, in fairness, Trey Hume. This afternoon's game, well, the statistics, they stack up heavily in terms of Sunderland winning this game comfortably. But you can never rely on those sort of statistics. There are other little anecdotes you can throw in there, like the fact that Sunderland haven't beaten Crystal Palace in the top flight at home since 1991, albeit it's only 4 games.
4 games, yeah. But
and Kieran Brady scored on that occasion.
Indeed. So it's still going to be a difficult game. Like, you know, everyone thinks, oh, you should win this game, and we should win it comfortably. No, there's no such thing. You've got to earn the right. You know, you look at Crystal Palace, and they've got some key players, you know, Pino and obviously Brennan Johnson, who they just brought in from Tottenham. Mateta, we know that you've got to keep an eye on him. I know that he might have a slight injury, but, you know, he is a focal point for Crystal Palace. I think where we might be able to cause them problems is Broby. You know, you look at the heart of their defence, and Lima is playing there. He's not an out-and-out centre-back. He usually plays in the middle of the park. So, you know, if we can get the ball up to him. I thought Mundle did very well last week. Never stopped going. Kept going 100% on that left-hand side. So, yeah, we've just got to make sure that, you know, continue doing what we have been doing at the Stadium of Light.
I'm just watching Dorgu score for Manchester United. We talk about, you know, these games will never be easy, and there's been lots of talk about this Manchester City-Manchester United match this afternoon, and Michael Carrick in charge for the first time. Well, Manchester United have just taken a 2-0 lead. So they are upsetting the odds in one sense this afternoon. Sunderland women, incidentally, they kicked off at 12:15 in the FA Cup, the 4th round. They're playing London City Lionesses, and London were leading by a 1-0 a few minutes ago as we approach the end of that cup tie. But here, 4 changes for Sunderland, 2 changes for Crystal Palace. And I agree, because you spoke about this on Total Sport on Radio Newcastle last night, that it won't be easy. These are good players, which makes it even more remarkable that they were beaten by Macclesfield last week, which makes you wonder, did the news of Oliver Glasner leaving